Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Jack Whippet Court inside Kimberly High School for tonight's Fox Valley Association boys basketball matchup between the visiting Kaukauna Ghosts and the host Kimberly Papermakers. Happy Friday evening, everyone. I'm Ricardo Arguello, part of the USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream team. Joining me, as always, Brett Christopherson and Jim Rosendick of the USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream team. And, of course, we have a very special friend helping us out, Connor Christopherson, helping out with the production elements, again, here for USA Today Network Wisconsin. But we're expecting a good matchup tonight between these two arch rivals. Anytime you have Kaukauna and Kimberly, it's the battle for K-Town, Brett. How many times have these two teams faced off in their history, encompassing all sports? It's always a battle for K-Town, BC.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is our second time seeing Kaukauna. You weren't there. Rosie and I caught that one at Kaukauna High School.
Oh, was that when I was in Palm Springs?
Whatever. You know, you always have to brag. But so our second look at Kaukauna, but Kimberly, Ricardo, we'll talk about it. 9th ranked in Division I right now, and they've had a really challenging non-conference schedule.
That they have.
They've gone toe-to-toe with some of the big boys in Division I. I think Kimberly thinks they're one of the big boys, too. So, hey, this is a good game. We got a kind of a playoff-type atmosphere, a buzz as always, and you got at least seemingly two teams going in the different directions. You got a Kimberly team that has eyes on the prize as far as the FVA and winning that conference title, and a Kaukauna team that has lost, 3 of its last 4 games and really defensively struggling. So, but, you know, you put two rivals together, longtime rivals, as you said, Ricardo, the battle for K-Town. And Lucky Wirtz, the Kimberly coach, he was up here in the press box a little while ago, and he's all nervous, and he's, you know how it is. It's probably going to be a real close game, so should be a fun one. And, by the way, something different, Mike Shallow not wearing the white shirt and black pants.
No.
He's actually got the orange shirt on tonight.
But I wonder if he has those old-time shoes still on from, I don't know, those are decades old, apparently, Brett. Of course, Mike Shallow, coach for Kaukauna High School. Lucky Wirtz, coach for Kimberly on these two elite programs. I could say that, Brett. Both of them had a lot of wins over the last, I would say, decade or so. Only Kaukauna winning the state title a couple times, I should say, within the last, 6 or 7 years. Twice during the Jordan McCabe era, Brett. Again, we're here at Jack Whippet Court. We'll start off with some notes, Brett, because we want to start with you reading off some of the Kimberly notes. So if you're ready, my friend, go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. Kimberly comes into this one, guys, 8-2 overall, 7-0, undefeated in the Fox Valley Association. The Papermakers, as I said, ranked 9th in Division I in this week's Associated Press and WizSports.net State Coaches Poll. And they're coming off a 65-46 victory over Appleton East on Tuesday in an FVA contest over in Appleton. Rockhurst recruit Jake Buchanan led the way with a game-high 23 points as Kimberly built a 36-21 halftime lead. Jackson Pawelewski and Logan Pearson chipped in with 12 and 11 points respectively. The Papermakers knocked down 9 threes in that win, with Buchanan and Pearson each hitting 3 triples. Pawelewski hit 2 from behind the arc. Buchanan is Kimberly's top scorer, Ricardo, at 19 points per game. That ranks 5th in the FVA, by the way. He's shooting 54% overall and 37% from three-point range. Pawelewski is next at 14.4 points. His 26 triples lead the team, and he's shooting 51% from distance. Pearson is 3rd in scoring at 12 points per game. He and Buchanan have each knocked down 9 threes. Mitch Bartle is the Papermakers' top rebounder at 6.1 per game. That ranks 3rd in the league. Buchanan tops on the team in assists at 4.7. Pawelewski next at 4.2. Real good guard play for Lucky Wirtz and the Papermakers. Overall, Kimberly averaging 71.7 points per game, allowing just 56.9. It's shooting 47% as a team, including 40% from three-point range. They like to let it fly from behind the arc. Up next for the Papermakers, Ricardo, right here at Jack Whippet Court. Tuesday in a FBA matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. How about the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts?
Yeah, you know, Kaukauna coming up a 92-63 loss to Neenah on Tuesday, Brett. I know that raised several eyes in the newsroom, yours included. That was an FBA contest in Neenah. The Rockets, behind Max Klesmit's 30-point effort, they jumped out to a 44-23 halftime lead, and they really cruised from there. Kaukauna has dropped 4 of its last 5 after opening the season with 4 victories in 5 tries. So Logan Jadwabny, Keaton Ferris, they finished with 16 points apiece to pace Kaukauna. Jacob Newhouse added 11 points. Now, Jadwabny and Newhouse tops on the team in scoring at 17.9 and 17.1 respectively. Ferris is next at 12.4, followed by Chris Morgan at 10.1. averages of Jidwabney, Newhouse, Morgan through 9 games, while Ferris's average is through 7 games. Now, Brett, you put down here, we don't have updated average on rebounding and assists. I don't think they usually put that on there in terms of WithSports.net. But overall, the Ghosts are averaging 65.3 points and allowing 62.9. Their next game is a home matchup against Appleton North Tuesday in the FBA Showdown. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Brett, a very improving Appleton North team, by the way.
Yeah, Chris Kellett doing good things with the Lightning.
Yeah, last season, Kimberly swept Kaukauna in their 2 regular season meetings, winning 85-64 and 78-67. Papermakers advanced to the Division I sectional semis. They were nipped by Neenah, 57-56 to finish 22-3. Kaukauna made it to the D2 sectional finals, Brett, where it fell to eventual state champion Nicolay and Jalen Johnson, the Duke recruit, 57-44 to finish 20-6.
Yeah, we live streamed that game at Watertown High School. That was a fun game. A
nice facility. I really like Watertown.
Very close game for a while too before Nicolay finally pulled away. But it's interesting. What I guess the big question going into this one: what is going on with the Ghosts? Because they came in as one of the contenders, at least seemingly, for the Division II state championship. But right now, defense, I guess, is number one is the issue.
You know, if I get a chance to talk to Coach Shello afterwards, I will ask him, man, my coach, is it merely a thing of this team just coming together? A lot of times you see teams kind of struggle early on as they're trying to find the right match or lineup, I should say, Brett. And we know this, that, you know, Ferris didn't play the first couple games. Is there some things where he's working himself back into game shape? You don't know, but it is very unusual to see them struggling like this, Brett, especially very recently.
Well, we'll talk about that. I've got some game notes on what Kaukauna has kind of been up against defensively, and really what hit in their 5 losses. Defense has really been an issue, and just how much they're giving up in those 5 setbacks. So we'll see. Yeah, you're right. It is early, but it isn't, right? I mean, both teams have 10 games under their belts. This will mark the halfway point of the season, 22 regular season games. So we're hitting game number 11 for both teams. So, and we're also hitting into mid-January, Ricardo. It's starting to get time where if you want to get into a rhythm and start building up something for the playoff push, now's the time. You can't wait too much longer.
No. The bulk of the conference season is coming up over the next 4 or 5 weeks here, Brett. You know, like you said, it is mid-January. That means we're, 6 weeks away from tournament time.
It's not. It's going to come quick. It's
going to come quick.
I mean, look at already the girls' side. They're past halfway point, and it goes by fast. You get in that January, February grind, but this means everything. Seedings, I mean, that's a huge deal. Who's going to be your matchups, and that's a big part of tournament play as well. Who you go up against, what conference you go up against, and sometimes those are some bad matchups. I do like obviously the pedigree of Kaukauna. There's so much talent. That's what Lucky was talking about with us too. He's really worried. Like, what did he say? Like four top 50 players or something. He's pretty nervous about this one. So time to put it together, but it's going to have to happen here pretty quick.
Yeah, you know, you talk about that 4 top 50 players, but it is a matter of them finding that cohesiveness. And when it does, I expect to see a different team.
Yeah, it should be fun, and looking forward to actually seeing Kimberly for the first time this season. Hard to believe. It took till January 10th, all of you folks that like to get on me about streaming Kimberly stuff too much. So, hey, we're trying to do the best we can, balancing out, and already looking forward next week. I don't know what to choose. Maybe I should leave it up to the viewers out there. We've got a big one, Kimberly-Neenah boys in an FVA matchup. 2, again, contenders, the Papermakers and Rockets, but
what day is that?
That's next Friday. That's also the same night as Hortonville-Appleton East girls. And both of those teams are ranked in the top 5 in their respective divisions on the girls' side.
That's at Appleton East?
Yes, I'm kind of leaning towards the girls right now because there's so much talent that we got to showcase on the girls' side.
I think logistics should play a part in this, my friend. When you talk about Appleton East, how friendly is it to doing live streams?
It is much better nowadays than what it used to be, and we do have a good connection there. So we've been great relationship with the Appleton IT staff. And speaking of relationships, I want to always say thank you to Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director here. Sam with the IT staff, always great people to work with. Love coming to Jack Whitbeck Court, and really looking forward to settling in this one and a whole bunch of high school games to really take us into March.
Brett, I think I'm finally in basketball mode after
it takes you time,
transitioning from fall.
I have no problem getting into hoops mode.
I know you don't. That's your thing. Hoops is your game. Me, I'd much rather be watching football still.
Hey, a big thank you to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Be sure to stop in today for their New Year's mattress sale. You still got your football, Ricardo. You got all the NFL playoffs coming up this weekend.
True. Jack Whippet Court, always a nice atmosphere. And we were talking to Cole Warning and Parker Lawrence from the Hortonville boys basketball team yesterday, Brett, or Wednesday, I'm sorry, on the Varsity Roundtable show. They cited Jack Whippet Court as one of their favorite places to play.
Oh, it is a great atmosphere. The band's pumping. They've got bleachers on both sides of the basket, so it kind of it's a big gym, but it kind of closes it off too. And I really like what they do here. And of course, a rivalry game with two premier programs always makes it a little bit more intriguing.
Sometime soon we'll have the camera pan up top, Brett. All the state championships here at Kimberly. They're at the top of the
There's a bunch of
here.
them.
There's a lot of them. 50th anniversary of the Fox Valley Association, DC.
Yeah, what do you got planned for that?
We hope when we get time to start doing some things like top teams, top players. I think it would be something that the public at large would like to see.
By the way, when do you get those Fab Five boys and girls basketball?
Those are coming out. Rosie hopefully has them coming soon, the Fab Five, right, my friend?
I'm sorry.
Early next week.
That wasn't fair to say that, was it?
No, it wasn't.
I apologize.
We don't appreciate the sarcasm, Brett.
Hey, that's my middle name.
That Kimberly High School band, Brett, with the national anthem as we are ready to get underway. Starting lineup's about to be announced, I should say, here at Jack Whippet Court. Again, USA Today Network Wisconsin. Another great live stream. I'm Ricardo Arguello, hanging out with Brett Christofferson and Jim Rosentick, and a fourth member of our team, Brett Connor Christofferson.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, you do know him. So we're excited to bring this, what we think is going to be a good game between these two arch rivals. Jake Buchanan, one of the starters for Kimberly, along with Jackson Paveletsky, Logan Pearson, Mitch Bartle, one of the top rebounders on the team, along with Grant Assman. And then over at Kaukauna, Logan Jedwabny, Chris Morgan, Keaton Ferris, Gabe Hammond, and Jacob Newhouse. Those are your starting lineups for both teams. Brett?
Hey, last year Kimberly swept Kaukauna in their two regular season meetings, winning 85-64 and 78-67. The Papermakers advanced to the Division I sectional semifinals. I believe you mentioned that, where they're nipped by Nina.
That's true.
And Kaukauna again, Nicolet. Losing to Nicolet in the sectional championship game.
I will say this, Brett, even though I'm more of a football guy, I do enjoy the sectional level of basketball maybe more than anything. I think the crowds are always nice, always a nice facility. Most importantly, you're inside from the elements.
Yes. Well, we are inside from the elements when it comes to football, but unfortunately most of the press boxes aren't heated.
I'll tell you this one, though, Brett. Unfortunately for me, it's rare when I'm at those sectional events because I'm usually wrestling.
I know. That's usually just me and Rosie by ourselves at that point. And let me just say, a two-man crew, we make it work, but it's tough. It's a it's a challenge. But we get her done, and looking forward to bringing you a whole bunch of regular season basketball, boys and girls, and then, regional and sectional stuff too. It's always a treat to see how the seedings, meetings end up, and then you start putting the bracket together and start anticipating matchups and conferences going against each other. You look at a Fox River Classic Conference on the boys' side, Bayport playing well again. Could they meet up with a Kimberly maybe down the road, or are they in a different sectional? I think Kimberly goes west, don't they, to play like the Spashes and the Eau Claire Memorials? And I know Eau Claire.
Well, that would be, you're right, because I think Nina is in that same sectional.
I think so too.
Remember Nina last year, Brett? They had to play their sectional final against Superior on a Sunday.
You were there.
I was
at
there.
Wisconsin Rapids,
I
right?
enjoyed that thoroughly. I think that should happen more, to tell you the truth.
Sunday? No.
On a Sunday,
Can't
yes,
do that.
afternoon. Oh, perfect weather. It was nice.
Well, now, it wasn't perfect weather because that's why it was moved to
that
Sunday.
That day it was.
Speaking of weather, it sounds like we got a big one coming, snowstorm. Just in time for the NFC Divisional Playoffs at Lambeau Field, and we'll talk about Clubhouse Live, our Packers show. Still going strong.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, apparently nobody else cares, right? Hey, easy.
Just about ready to get underway here on your Burlow Mattress scoreboard. As we have Jacob Newhouse and Assman, 6'9".
Yeah, 6'9", going against 6'6". A couple big guys out there, and the Ghosts with the basketball.
Jed Wabney driving, and there's a foul right away. That's going to be called on Morgan. Brett, interesting. Morgan, a sophomore.
Actually, a Logan Pearson.
They're calling on Logan Pearson. Okay.
Yeah, Kimberly foul, number 14. Yeah, Chris Morgan for the Ghosts, transfer. We'll talk about him, number 14 in orange. Played at Ashwaubenon last year's freshman year, and then a family move brought him down to the Valley as Jed Wabney misfires, and here's a run out here, up and in, easy basket in transition. Ricardo, that's Jackson Pawelecki.
Brett, and he immediately went in transition mode.
So Pawelecki with the first bucket of the night. But yeah, Morgan, a West Virginia recruit. And looking forward to watching him a couple more seasons. Good reverse move by Newhouse. Ricardo just couldn't get it to go.
That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch, but on the other end is going to be Ferris against his good buddy Buchanan. And
look at Buchanan nails it. Doesn't even hesitate. Quick 5-0 lead. Hey, you don't have to be. Your toe doesn't have to be up against the line, right? He's got range, and he's not afraid to let it fly. 5-0, triple by Buchanan.
From the land of Steph Curry there, BC. Way out there.
You know, they were defending him, too. It wasn't like he was wide open.
5-0 lead quickly for Kimberly here on your Burlow Mattress scoreboard. 16:26 and counting in the first half.
Think about that transition hoop by Pawelecki. I'm sure Mike Shallow, the Kaukauna coach, is thinking, oh, man, this is the stuff we need to shore up when we had some defensive issues, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. I think that was off of Morgan. So if you're a Papermakers fan, great start. 5-0 is the lead as we look at our Burlow Mattress Factory scoreboard. The triple by Buchanan and then Pawelecki, the other bucket. Appreciate everybody watching live tonight online on postcrescent.com. Also our Facebook page. Assman's going to shoot from the corner. Nails it. And I think Mike Shallows, he wants a timeout. How about the big fellow, Ricardo? 6'9", junior forward, stepping out, knocking down another three, and we've got a timeout already for the Ghosts.
Yeah, so back-to-back three-pointers by Buchanan and Aspen get Kimberly an 8-0 lead on your Verlo Metro scoreboard. You never want to see that, Brett, if you're a defender, the big six. How do you really guard that?
Well, close out. I'm sure that's what Mike Shallow's saying. We can't leave any of these guys open. They're all shooters, and we talked about the fact that they're not afraid to shoot the basketball. What was it from a team? 40% from three-point range. They got a bunch of shooters on this floor for Kimberly. You got to defend. You can't leave them wide open, and I'm sure that was a point of emphasis in that 30-second timeout for Mike Shallow. And look at Lucky Wirtz. He's in a defensive stance right now.
Yeah, he is.
He wants to be out there on the floor.
He's always been that way, Lucky Wirtz. His time coaching over at Laconia, later at Waupun.
Funny story about Lucky Wirtz. I went to the UW-Oshkosh, UW lacrosse game this past Saturday, actually, with both of my sons. We wanted to see, the defending champs and then lacrosse highly ranked. Well, it was alumni night there, and Lucky was the last one to be announced, but they forgot to announce his name.
Oh.
And finally somebody realized it, and he was like, "No, you don't have to announce. I'm okay." And he got out there and he got his due.
Lockwood.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Well, Brett, you were talking about defense being a concern.
Giving up the baseline to Pawelецki, 4 points for him, and 10-0 lead already for Kimberly.
And there was a kick there. I believe that was Asman. So Kaukauna really struggling to try to get anything going.
But again, defensively, look at we're 3 minutes into this game and already 10 points for Kimberly. Couple triples. The transition off the miss on Pawelецki and then the baseline drive. Newhouse, good finish.
But again, it looked like Kaukauna really had to work for that bucket, Brett. A nice finish by Newhouse. 10-2 lead for Kimberly, nearing the 14:40 mark in the first half.
You left him open again.
There's Ferris on his buddy Buchanan.
Oh!
Blocked. That was Bartle, Brett.
Yeah, Mitch Bartle, the Western Michigan football recruit. Bounce pass. Just couldn't handle it. It was there, and Jed Wabney bringing it up. There's a deep three. Ferris, he's going to let it fly. And just what the Ghosts needed. Good look by Morgan, giving it up and relying on Keaton Ferris. We've seen Ferris knock down many threes over the years, including that big one when he was a sophomore in the state championship game. Remember McCabe finding him in the corner as Buchanan, acrobatic shot.
Yeah, that was a big win over Milwaukee, Washington, Brett.
That was a good Washington team, and McCabe kind of took over as Morgan short. Good bounce pass from Newhouse. And nice finish, Ricardo. That's number 21, Gabe Hammond.
Kaukauna within 5 points. Brett 13-28 and counting in the first half on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard.
Good vision by the big fella, Newhouse, as Asman now hits another. Back and forth. 2 triples for Asman. He's got 6 points. And that's the third 3-point bucket by the Papermakers this half.
13 minutes now here in the first half. Again, Kimberly got off to a 10-0 lead to start this game. Kaukauna's clawed back, looking to chip away at that lead a little more as Ferris will pop from way out.
Newhouse, nice little turnaround off the glass, using the backboard. How about that? And second chance opportunities because of that offensive rebound.
Newhouse with 3 rebounds already.
Yeah, and 4 points. Jacob Newhouse, one of the captains, 6'6" senior, 210 pounds. The other captains are Jed Wabney and Ferris. Kimberly 10-8-2, I should say, overall, 7-0 in the league. Kaukauna 5-5 and 4-3, and it looks like we're going to have a foul against Kaukauna. I think they're going to get Hammond. So both teams with just 1 foul. 12-17 to play. 15-9 is the lead for the Papermakers as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Thank you all again for tuning in to tonight's game at Jack Whippick Court. Visiting Kaukauna Ghosts, host Kimberly Papermakers in this Fox Valley Association boys basketball matchup. There's Buchanan now being guarded by Sipple.
Alec Martzel hits it, comes off the bench. Look at that.
I think we saw him do that on occasion last year, Brett, kind of give a little lift from the perimeter. Martzel coming off a great season, rushing for more than 1,700 yards, Brett.
And looking good at quarterback, too, remember?
QB.
The dual threat quarterback as the Papermakers advance to the state semifinals. Sipple, tough shot. And here come the Papermakers. That's Michael Alt, number 1. Now Buchanan's going to spot up short. Jed Wabney. Oh, nice hustle.
That's Martzel, Brett, picking his pocket. Stays with Kaukauna, though, but you got to like the hustle from Alec Martzel, 5'11" senior guard.
Wonder if Mike Shallow wearing the orange tonight, maybe that's trying to change the luck, right? Change the fortunes of what's been going on with the Ghosts. Again, Kaukauna has lost 4 of its last 5 games. Check this out. They have allowed 92 or more points in 3 games this season. That was a 92-61 loss to Hortonville on December 10th. That's a game we streamed. A 96-67 loss to Oshkosh North on December 20th. And then on Tuesday, the 92-63 loss to Neenah. They've also allowed 70 or more points in 3 other games, and they're allowing 85.8 points per game in their 5 losses.
Whoa.
So defense an issue, and not used to seeing that with Kaukauna. Morgan gets it into Jed Wabney.
Whoop. Morgan stripped.
Good defense. Asman, nice. Good team basketball. Unselfish. And 11-point lead, Ricardo. I think that might be the largest for the Papermakers, as Jed Wabney is short on that. But Tyson Stilo Waldrup, the 6'5" sophomore, gets his first bucket.
Good cleanup by that young man, Brett. And again, I thought the shot was a little rushed. But they're already we're down at that point, 11 points as Asman, trying to connect on this third three-pointer. Nice rebound, and that one goes out of bounds and goes over to Kaukauna.
A lot of good pieces to this Kimberly team, and the first time checking them out. Really impressed by a number of guys, but in particular the 6'9" junior Grant Asman. He looks good and a big that can do stuff inside, obviously protect the rim and cause problems on the defensive end, but a kid that can step out we've seen already with 2 triples. So a good shooter for Lucky Wirtz, and he's coming back.
Ferris. Newhouse.
Good double team there on the baseline. Oh, nice
Beautiful.
Reverse.
Wow.
Yeah, he saw the opening attacked, and that's Ferris. His second bucket, he's got 5.
Poboletsky doing a good job, Brett, almost losing, but keeping his composure and retaining possession as there's a foul now on Kaukauna.
Carson Sipple picks it up. So his first 2 team fouls for Kaukauna, just 1 for Kimberly. A pretty clean first half so far with just a shade over 10 minutes to play in this opening half as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Once again, Kimberly up 20-13. That's a deep 3. Oh, they're going to call a foul before. So
third
Sipple,
foul on Kaukauna now.
Yeah, Sipple picks up 2 quick ones. They're going to get him on the push now, and I think he's going to have to check out of the game here. Good pace to this one. Kimberly already with 4 first half threes. Kaukauna just the 1 by Ferris. Ferris has 5. Newhouse 4 for Kaukauna. Buchanan leading the way for the Papermakers with 7. Asman with 6. Good hands by Povoletsky.
Beautiful give and go there.
That's
nice.
Winnick and gets it to fall. Already 5 players have scored for the Papermakers.
Winnick coming off that sensational football season, Brett, is one of the top receivers in the state. As that's a foul that's going to be called on Martzel, I believe. But yeah, Winnick, I believe, was a second-team Associated Press All-State receiver, Brett.
Air Force recruit, going to play football at the next level. And Martzel picks up the foul, steal a wall drop at the line, shooting a pair. Banks in the free throw.
Just like you call it.
As long as it goes through the cylinder, doesn't matter. So 1 of 2 from the stripe, a steal a wall drop. He's got 3. And the Papermakers holding on to an 8-point lead, led by as many as 11 as Buchanan. Pawlowski now has it. Back over to Pearson. Pearson going to play at the next level at UW Platteville. Platteville having a nice season in Division III, highly ranked. Just beat UW Oshkosh. Down at Kulf. Nice kick out to Pearson. He can shoot. And Winnick with the board, and he's going to pick up the foul.
And judging by the
check that Kaukauna foul.
Judging by the facial features of Pearson, I take it he's related to the Courtney and Maddie Pearson of the Kimberly girls basketball team. Also having a fine season.
Buchanan, tough shot. Wow, leaner, kind of acrobatic. He's got 9 already. You can see Ricardo Buchanan, one of your Fab 5 players and one of the top guards in this, well, in the entire Fox Valley, obviously. He'll play at the Division II Rockhurst. Oh, nice little 2-man basketball there. Stilo Waldrop gets the bucket, and he's got 5. And I think Winnick now fouled. He'll go to the stripe. And that's going to be the 15th foul, Ricardo, on Kaukauna.
8:25 left here in the first half on your Verlo Matchup scoreboard. Again, 8-point lead for the Papermakers over their rival, the Ghosts of Kaukauna.
Jordan Stroll, number 11 for the Ghosts, a junior, just picked up his second foul. So foul starting to build a little bit for Mike Shallow as Winnick hits the first of his 2 attempts. First free throw attempt for the Papermakers tonight. And hits them both. Yeah, as Ricardo said, Connor Winnick, a fantastic wideout for Steve Jones. And the football team here, the highly decorated Kimberly football team. Good help and a good switch as Asman now on Jed Wabney there in the wing. See if they switch back. Nope.
I was thinking, I was going to say, taking a long three-pointer in and out. Winnick with the rebound.
Yeah, Jed Wabney yet to score here in this one. And look at that. Again, his third three-point bucket. He's got 9. And a 13-point advantage, Ricardo, for Kimberly.
6'9" junior forward for Kimberly, Brett.
Oh, out of bounds, unforced error, turnover. And what I like about Asman there is no hesitation, just complete confidence, and looking really good out there as Mitch Bartle getting ready to check in for Kimberly as Connor Winnick takes a seat. So let me count that up. 5 threes now already this half, and we still have 7.5 minutes to play in this opening half as Pawlowski can't get the bounce. And Pearson with the follow, his first bucket, and Kimberly in command here, up 15.
Quite the run here, Brett, by the Papermakers. A 9-2 run, Brett.
Oh, nice. Using the glass. Little pull-up from the free throw line from the elbow. I like it. Newhouse with 6. Deep form. Pearson gets it to rim in. 6th three-point bucket for the Papermakers. Pearson now with 5 and a 16-point advantage. Good find. Blocked. Asman blocked the shot.
Doing it all for Kimberly.
Oh, a little pull-up from the free throw line. I thought that was getting ready to fall. It was a good look by Pawlowski. Just couldn't get it to go. Kimberly Ricardo really playing the gaps well. Trying to keep everything as much as they can outside the paint as Buchanan hauls down the defensive rebound. Oh, look at that. Good look. Bartle and count it. Oh, they call. Yep, I think that's a good call.
Yeah, he moved his feet.
But a good find by Buchanan.
30-second timeout.
Is that Kaukauna taking another one?
34-18 lead for Kimberly. Yeah, Brett, I mean, boy, oh boy. You know, you want to say some of it has to do with Kaukauna maybe not playing well on defense, but boy, Kimberly moving the ball around, and when you're hot like that from the outside, that's tough.
They got shooters, don't they?
Absolutely.
Up and down. Just look at already Buchanan, Martzel, Pearson, and Asman all with threes. They've had 6 3-pointers in the half, and what I like too about how they're playing with pace. They're not bringing the ball up and just kind of set up. They're getting out, and transition also means wide open threes. Doesn't mean always just attacking the basket, and they space the floor so well, and you can tell they have good chemistry. They just share it. They play well, and it's a little wonder why Kimberly off to a really nice start here this season. Morgan, good find at the top. Nope. That was Gabe Hammond with the miss from the top of the key, and Kimberly up 16 with the basketball. Jake Buchanan directing traffic.
Kind of a perfect storm
Well,
when it
watch
comes
this,
to
Bartle.
Kaukauna.
Oh, I think they're going to get Asman. He tried to tap it out.
Well, for Kaukauna, you know, they're struggling a little bit on defense. Offensively, they're not able to finish, and they're not able to, you know, kind of connect on some of those open perimeter shots, Brett. And that kind of leads to this 34-18 lead with 5:18, or 34-18 deficit, I should say, with 5:15 accounting in the first half. Nice no-look pass. Newhouse taking it out to Ferris. Guarded, of course, by his buddy Jake Buchanan. Both of those guys were on the Roundtable show, Brett, early in the season.
Yeah, I remember when Ferris was kind of had that sheepish look because he was wearing a Kimberly jersey at the youth level. I think just because they had extras and he was playing with them. But I remember when that picture came up and he's like, "Oh boy, I got a Kimberly jersey on." Can't wear that when you're a Kaukauna Galloping Ghost, can you? Look at that ball movement. Pearson.
They're going
they're
to say
gonna-
it's staying
okay.
with Kimberly, but there was a little bit of indecisiveness, though, Brett, by the official. Decided it stays with Kimberly.
34-18 Papermakers. A nice first half as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. 4:38 to play in this opening half. We're at Jack Whippet Court. Buchanan. Oh, tough
look at
leaner.
that.
Wow, no contact. They let it go. And Newhouse comes down with it, and here comes Jedwabny.
You got to admire when someone like Buchanan goes up among the trees, Brett. Very physical player.
Jedwabny blocked. Ooh. Are they going to get
Martzel, I believe.
Looks like it. That would be his second, I believe. So 14 fouls now against Kimberly, 5 for Kaukauna. Jedwabny still looking for his first points of the night, and he's going to try to do it from the line.
He, Ferris, and Newhouse, the 3 captains for Kaukauna.
Jedwabny coming in averaging almost 18 points a game. So Kimberly doing a good job trying to limit his touches. And good on the second. Good hedge by Newhouse. And again, there's that ball movement, just sharing it as Asman fires away. Good look, just couldn't get it to drop. Ferris with it. Stop and pop, no good. Chris Morgan. Morgan also yet to find the scoring column, and it looks like Lucky Wirtz wants to talk things over as the Papermakers burn their first timeout of the half. A full timeout gives us a chance to catch our breath with 3:48 to play. 34-20 is the advantage as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Yeah, Brett, Asman coming in, or I should say at this point, 9 points, 5 rebounds, and a block. So he's been playing outstanding, Brett. Very impressed with that young player. Again, a 6'9" junior. And I think he's shown a lot of versatility. He's not just a big guy underneath. He's not just a guy who just wants to shoot and play no defense. Well-rounded player, Brett.
Yeah, as you can see that look of Mike Shallow talking to his guys and see if they can claw back into this one, down 14. Just hard to pinpoint. Now, we talked about the defense, but hard to pinpoint as we watch Kaukauna. This is your first time seeing them. It's my second time. There's something just a little off right now with these guys. And hard to put my finger on really what it is. I know you'll talk to Mike Shallow after the game.
It's the defense. There's something just not right. They're not communicating.
But they seem even a little unsure offensively.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just still trying to blend it, get that chemistry together.
But defense should be something that's consistent. There shouldn't be, a lot of wavering on the defense. You shouldn't give up 50 points one night and 90 another. It should always be consistent.
Well, that's a good point. And case in point, look at University of Virginia this year, really struggling to score. The national champs, coached by Tony Bennett, of course, but they can always rely on that defense to keep them in games.
And that was the staple of Coach Bennett back in the UW days, Dick Bennett. The defense always keeps you close, Brett. It may not always be pretty, but it keeps you close.
It's all about winning. Sounds like another team up the road that hasn't won pretty, but they're winning.
Buchanan, again, going against Ferris.
Again, good sharing of the basketball. Leaves Asman. Look at that. That's his fourth triple.
Brett,
he's got 12.
It's a nice stroke.
Well, and I like the patience, Ricardo. Nobody forced anything. Morgan. And now Jed Wabney at the top. Going to try to set it up, working off a screen. Tough take, and he's fouled. So Buchanan fouls Jed Wabney. Number 3 fouls number 3, and Jed Wabney a chance to add to his points total. 2 for 2 from the line tonight. 2 points for Jed Wabney, and can't get the first one to fall here. That's something to look at, too. Again, Jed Wabney averaging 18 points a game coming in. Chris Morgan, 10. Combined, they just have the 2 points so far, and we're under 3 minutes to play in this half. 1 of 2 is Jed Wabney. He's got 3 now on the night.
.250 left here in the first half. Nice big lead, 16 points for Kimberly.
Oh, nice steal by Ferris.
Beautiful hands.
I thought he was going to give it up to Morgan. He's going to spot up and let it fly. Good. That's his first bucket of the night. I like the shot fake.
But Keaton Ferris really started that possession, Brett. Nice hands to come up with the steal. Set up that three-pointer. 13-point lead now for Kimberly. Foul's going to be up here on the floor.
That'll be Kaukana's 6th team foul. Jordan Stroll now picks up his 3rd for the Ghosts, so I imagine he'll have to take another seat here as Mike Shallow contemplates what he wants to do. Next foul will put the Papermakers at the line in the bonus. Buchanan with it. Oh, against Morgan. Got Morgan a little jumpy there. Nice little scoop shot.
Brett, again, when I see those kind of plays, I always call it the scoop-de-loop. Nice finish for Buchanan.
Ooh, knocked away, and I think it went off of Stroll's knee, and the refs agree, and it's going to be Kimberly's basketball. Papermakers up 15, a minute 45 to play.
Again, Kimberly started off well, Brett. Remember, there was a 10-0 lead to begin the game. So Kaukauna has been facing an uphill battle all game long.
Pearson hits it wide open. His second 3. That's 8 points for Pearson. And look at this, Ricardo. 18-point lead for the Papermakers. Stroll no good from the corner, but Newhouse offensive rebound and a foul on Kimberly. That'll be their 6th team foul, so both teams with 6 apiece. And Jack Kiefer picks up his first. Another good wide receiver, I believe, for the Steve Jones' football team. Morgan, nice jumper, just couldn't get it to fall. Pavletsky, good shot fake. Shot from the elbow, a little wayward there. And with a minute to go, Jed Wabney has it for the Ghosts.
Knocked away. No, that was Pearson who had a hand on that. Possession will stay with Kaukauna with 58.8 seconds left. They're down 42 to 24 on your Verlo mattress scoreboard.
Oh, good hesitation.
Yes.
Ferris just couldn't get the fall.
That was a great move, though, by Ferris.
Oh, look at Buchanan split the defense, and it's good. Wow. So Morgan picks up the foul. Buchanan and and one coming up, and kind of a gut punch for Kaukauna. That was a great move by Ferris. Just couldn't get the fall. And then in transition, coast to coast, Buchanan doesn't complete the three-point play, but still a bucket, now up 20. Really doing a good job, Kimberly Ricardo, defensively of forcing it out of the paint. There's penetration, but
Foul's going to be on the court. Go
they're
ahead, Brett.
making Kaukauna kick it out. Kaukauna trying to attack, but really closes up fast. Connor Winnick picks up his first now. That's the 17th foul, so 1-on-1 coming up for Jacob Newhouse. Newhouse with 6 first half points, but a 20-point lead for Kimberly. And something to keep in mind, I'm not the biggest math whiz in the world, but almost halfway to 90 already in this first half. And that, again, that's 3 times already this season that the Ghosts have given up 90-plus points. And defense still an issue for Kaukauna. Newhouse good on both, so he's got 8. And with 32 seconds to play, I would imagine that Kimberly will hold for this final shot of the half. Jackson Pavleski, just a sophomore, Ricardo. So some talent coming back for Lucky Wirtz as well. Oh, look at good take by Winnick, followed by Asman.
Inches away from a dunk, Brett.
Deep 3 by Jed Wobney, no, but how about that putback on the rebound? Asman now 14 first half points, and that's how this first half comes to a close. Awfully impressive for Kimberly. It's halftime here at Jack Whippick Court, and a look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard shows the Papermakers leading the Ghosts in our Varsity Game of the Week prep basketball live stream. Thanks again to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Stop in today for their mega mattress clearance sale. Also, Verlo Mattress Factory offers free delivery and setup with set purchases, and they can make custom mattresses to fit boats, RVs, semi-trucks, antique beds, and more. Plus, air beds are on sale up to $400 off.
Wow.
Why didn't I get in this contest, Ricardo? You've seen me shoot. I could nail that from the press box window here.
I've seen already one go in there. Now they're putting.
Well, somebody threw a real basketball down there. But wow, 20-point halftime lead for Kimberly, Ricardo.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Asman, again, 14 points, 6 rebounds, and a block. Heck of a first half for that junior.
Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter. Actually, Ricardo updating some of the stuff going on at this game right now on his Twitter account, at PC Ricardo. And give me a follow, please, at PC Brett C. Look at Ryan McGinnis down there trying to control controlled chaos down there as he's babysitting all these kids. But give us a follow, please, and you can find out a whole bunch of stuff that's going on digitally by giving us a follow on our Twitter accounts. Also, our games of the week, just updated stuff from Ricardo. Also, information coming soon on our Wisconsin Prep Sports Awards show. But a whole lot of busyness in the next number of months for us, without a doubt.
Busyness? Is that a word?
I just made it up.
Or business?
Busyness.
Well, I will say this, Brett, that every week as we continue on the high school sports season, Varsity Roundtable, the only show dedicated to high school sports in the Fox Valley in terms of a talk show. That's on every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. This past week we had Cole Warning and Parker Lawrence of the Hortonville boys basketball team. They're having a fantastic start to the year. Every Wednesday you can check us out. Next week we're hoping to have some girls basketball players on, maybe Appleton East. I got to talk to Coach LaChapelle about that. Also on Wednesday, Brett, well, this past Wednesday anyway, we did do an episode of the varsity, or I should say the R&B show, which is online now. You can check it out. As they're honoring, Brett, the WIA State boys basketball, or I should say boys volleyball team. I'm going to try to direct them a little bit. I'm working the camera here, so I apologize for the roughness. But, yeah, varsity, or I should say the R&B show. Usually it's tapes every Thursday, but this past week we did it on a Wednesday. It's back, though, Brett. And we added a little bit of NFL talk, but it's mostly high school sports talk, as we talked about the all-area football team that was showcased recently, as well as some of the top boys and girls basketball teams. We did talk about both of these teams, Brett. And also we finished it up with a little bit of, I guess we previewed the Varsity Roundtable. So check that out every Wednesday. Brett, what can you tell me what happens on Monday?
Yeah, Mondays. Actually, I'm just kind of thinking, are they going to all, like, make them hang the banner on the rafters or what?
I don't
what are they
know.
going to be doing?
I don't think they have a ladder out there.
Maybe try to get to some of the coaches on the camera too, Ricardo. Don't have them all on there. There they are. Yeah, Mondays, that's our Clubhouse Live show. Clubhouse Live with Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones. You can check that out free admission, and it is live, 6:30 on Mondays from the Clubhouse Sports Pub and Grill inside the Red Lion Hotel Paper Valley in downtown Appleton, Wisconsin. This past week, Aaron had one of the rookies on. Actually, he's brought a bunch of the rookies on. It's kind of fun to get to know the new guys, but cornerback Kadar Holman, very interesting story to tell. He went from undrafted, or college walk-on, I should say, to the Packers' 6th-round draft choice. So he's got a heck of a story, and somebody I know that the Packers are high on in the future seasons, but we're going to keep going with Clubhouse Live as long as the Packers keep winning. They got that big divisional playoff coming up against the Seattle Seahawks Sunday at 5:40 p.m. at Lambeau Field. Should be a very interesting game. Winner goes on to the NFC Championship against either the Vikings or the 49ers. If you can't make it to a show in person, you can always check it out live online at clubhouselive.com or facebook.com/PackersNews. Also, give our show a like at facebook.com/clubhouselive. But first come, first seated, best Packers show around, even if judges don't think so.
Oh, Brett, you silly, silly man.
Funny how we used to be recognized all the time with that. Now suddenly it doesn't happen. But hey, I'm not bitter.
A little bit. Again, honoring the Kimberly boys volleyball team, which this past November, early November, won the WIA state title. First time in program history. I was there to watch that one, Brett. They're a dominating team, led from start to finish.
At the Resch, too.
And I want to say they finished undefeated. I'll have to double check that, but that was just an incredible season.
Another gold ball
for
a very crowded trophy case here at Kimberly High School. Hey, you mentioned Hortonville. Boys, 10-1 on the season, 7-1 in the FBA. So they're contending with Kimberly and Nina and the Polar Bears hosting the Rockets tonight in a big FBA boys game. Again, we saw Hortonville earlier this season take down Kaukauna, and I'm going to see if I can find a score. And while I do that, why don't you tell everybody what's going on with the Fab Five? When is that coming out?
That's coming out. It's going to come out early next week, right, Rosie?
What is it all about?
Fab Five. It's what was that? By Wednesday we hope. So here is what it is. It's the top 5 boys and girls basketball players, not just in the Appleton area, Brett, but up and down the valley. So up to Green Bay, down to Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. And we have it kind of like in digital format, more of a showcase. And these are the top players to watch, Brett, going down the stretch here as some of the seedings will be determined and some of the conference champions will be determined. So check for that next week. Again, put together by Jim Rosendick. The best we could and the fastest we could, Brett. You know, it comes at a kind of an awkward time because we have vacations that need to be taken, that kind of stuff. So get it out the best we can. Listen to you always complaining about something. Why is he always complaining, Rosie Brett?
I'm not
Always
complaining.
about
I'm
something.
just thinking, yeah. I don't make excuses.
We're not making excuses. I'm giving you facts.
Not making any excuses. I don't see any update on that Neenah Hortonville game.
Usually, don't we get a text usually?
Yeah, usually from our friend down at Neenah, John Yoke, but have not seen anything come through yet. So a game of interest as we start seeing these matchups here in the middle of the season. Kimberly coming back onto the floor here with a couple minutes to go at halftime. I guess if you're Mike Shallow, I always ask you this, but it's always hard to read minds. But what is he telling the guys at half? He's got to be imploring them to give more effort on the defensive side, right?
Oh, you have to. But, that might be just a season-long issue, though, Brett. This isn't something that just, kind of reared its ugly head. It's kind of been their Achilles heel the entire season. And, Brett, you mentioned 3 times this season they've allowed 90-plus points.
Yeah, 3 times, and then they've allowed 70 or more points in 3 other games. As I mentioned in the first half, in their 5 losses, 85.8 points per game they've allowed. And we're on pace to see that again. We're on pace for a 92-point game for the Papermakers. Now, obviously, Kimberly shot lights out. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 3-point buckets in the first half. But some of those are open looks.
Right. And hopefully I'll be able to chat with Coach Shallow if I get a chance to, and maybe see what he has to say about so far what the season has produced for Kaukauna.
Hey, let me run down the first half scoring. First for the Papermakers: Buchanan with 13, Marshall with 3, Winnick with 4, Pawlowski with 4, Pearson 8, Asman with 14 for the Ghosts. Jedwabny 3, Morgan 3, Ferris with 5, Stilo Waldrop with 5, and Newhouse a team high 8 points for the Galloping Ghosts. Again, 8 3-point buckets by the Papermakers. As we're getting ready for the second half here at Jack Whippet Court.
Well, I think for Kaukauna, if you're looking to climb back into this one down 20, you'd like to see a little bit of a run to start. Maybe a 6-0 run, 8-0 run, just to give you that little bounce of confidence that you need, because then you get it down to just outside double digits, or just, outside double digits, and maybe you can kind of peck away at that. But right now, as the score shows, Brett, boy, if they allow another 5-point run or 6-point run, that's almost making it too difficult to come back.
Well, and easier said than done, because while we've kind of gushed about the Kimberly shooting so far and how they space the floor offensively, they're really doing a nice job defensively, playing the gaps. Again, Kaukauna likes to attack the rim, but there's nowhere to go. All of a sudden, there's help on defense, and they got to kick it out. And just really making it a grind for Kaukauna offensively.
Getting ready for the second half here at Jack Whippet Court. 46-26 lead for Kimberly. How many three-pointers did they hit again,
8.
Brett? 8 three-pointers.
Yeah, Asman had 4, Buchanan had 1, Martzel 1, and Pearson with 2. And Kimberly opens the second half with the basketball up 20.
I think Kimberly so far has shown me clearly that they deserve to be one of the top teams in the state in terms of voting, in terms of expectations. I know Coach Wirtz, likes to take it building block by building block, Brett, and let the season kind of unfold. But I'm sure his expectation level is high in terms of where they want to finish, Brett, because I know they didn't like what they did last year. I know Neenah had that nice comeback. Klesman had an outstanding flurry of points there to kind of put that Neenah team on its back to knock them out of the sectional semis.
Well, and that could be a sectional championship matchup. I think
Right.
they're both in the sectionals. So I think that one was originally scheduled to be in D.C. Everest, wondering if they would move that down. Oh, boy, wow. Good feed, Asman to Pawlowski, and that's a great start if you're Lucky Wirtz. Boy, how fun would that be, a Neenah-Kimberly sectional championship game?
Where would that be? Where do they have
I think D.C. Everest right now, but I have to think they'd move that over to the
of
Fox
course.
Valley. You don't need to make 2 teams drive over to central Wisconsin. Pawlowski just about with the steal and the finish, just out of bounds here on the sideline.
Well, Brett, I'll tell you this one, for the interest level, that would get, maybe they'd have to play it on Sunday at Marshfield.
Played at golf like they used to.
Yeah, they should do it. I agree with
Oh,
you.
man, remember those? Nice finish by Morgan. I remember those days of covering sectional basketball at Colf or the old Brown County Arena. I
They used to have
love
double headers, usually from different divisions.
I can remember writing a story from the hallway at Colf one time, a sectional championship story, but that place was a zoo as Pearson with a bucket inside. I mean, when we went to the UW Oshkosh game last weekend, Colf, I mean, there was a lot of people there, but it was still, there were tons of seats available. But when you get a sectional championship or sectional semifinal, we have 4 teams, it's packed. I mean, they got bleachers and they're standing room only. It's just a great atmosphere. I miss those days. Not a fan of what the WIA did in terms of getting it out of the bigger places. And you covered games at the Brown County Arena, too, I'm sure, back in the day. Nothing beat it. It was like a mini state tournament feeling. Buchanan. Now, good ball movement. Pearson from the corner. 50-28. Kimberly all over the rival Ghosts here at Jack Whippet Court. First meeting of the season between these two rivals and Newhouse. And Chris Morgan back at the top. Yeah, Chris Morgan, as we talked about, he played last year just a sophomore at Ashwaubenon on a family move, brought him down to the Valley. And there's a 3 by Gabe Hammond. But already being recruited and has an offer by West Virginia. And we know there's another Kaukauna player that is at West Virginia. Remember Jordan McCabe, Ricardo?
Of course.
Mr. Basketball, of course, one of the standout point guards in the state. Started 14 games this season for the Mountaineers.
Brett, interesting you were talking about the games held at Brown County Arena and Colf Sports. And you want to know the last game I covered at Colf?
Ferris
with a 3-pointer.
And a nice shooting start for the Ghosts. 8 quick points. Yeah, finish that thought.
Well, Brett, I'll let you guess. It involved.
Oh, nice look. Wow.
It involved a coach sitting on the sidelines here.
John Milkey.
Yes. Appleton East when they Caleb Zwiegers of that last-second shot that knocked off Germantown before Germantown had that long streak. That was when they had, Brett, the ill-fated Super Sectionals.
Super Tuesday.
Very, very dumb idea that did not work.
Nice. Oh, good block by Jed Wabney. I thought maybe Pavletsky was going to finish it. Good look by Buchanan. Yeah, that was a one and done, and not a didn't go over too well, did it?
No, because they had to add a Division 5 team in there, or Division 5 field, which cut down the Division 1 field from 8 to 4. Brett, everyone knows I wrote a column about that, taking
nice
the WIA
look.
to task.
Back door is Asman. He's got 18 points now. Again, seeing that ball movement, the willingness to share the basketball by the Papermakers. And here comes Pearson off the turnover, one-on-one. If he wants to take it, he's going to go, leans up and in. Wow. Just when you think, Ricardo, that the Ghosts have a little momentum.
Forget about it.
Yep. Creating offense from defense. Good finish by Pearson. Yeah. Well, as Ferris goes deep. And Buchanan, he's going to hit Asman up, and I thought maybe he was going to flush it down, but lays it in. Asman, boy, having a big game.
Brett, there's what you were looking for. Neenah leading Hortonville 32-22 at the half.
Okay. Interesting score there. Is Kaukauna going to burn another timeout?
Look, I'm not a fan, Brett, of cutting down that Division 1 field from 8 to 4.
I agree. We've talked about it not only just for basketball. Do you really need 5 divisions? But how about football? You have really, in essence, 8 divisions now with 8-man football because you have 7, 11 on 11. 7 divisions for state football? That's too much. For Wisconsin?
But some of that's not the WIA's decision. A lot of that is the Football Coaches Association as well as the Basketball Coaches Association. They set up those little committees. I think it's ridiculous because states with way more population than Wisconsin have less divisions. And let's be honest here, Brett. Wisconsin isn't exactly a hotbed for football players or basketball players when you compare it to, say, a Missouri or maybe even a Minnesota or Ohio. They don't even have that many divisions.
Yeah, it's too many. It's just too many. Those are 2 long days at Madison, trying to get 7 football games in. Wow.
I know, you had to be there this past year. Did you actually happen to have one of the human flesh-colored hot dogs?
I
Brett?
did not.
They had brats.
I stayed away from any of that food other than the popcorn. I'm just not going to put that in my stomach anymore. Jedwabny, 3. Good. Wow, he rainbowed that one. Pretty good closeout and a good shot by Jedwabny. His first field goal of the game. He's got 6. 58-37, Papermakers with the lead as we look at our Burlow Mattress Factory scoreboard. Nice hesitation. Buchanan, wow. Did enough just to freeze the defenders, Ricardo, and he goes up and finishes. Buchanan now with 15.
Brett, something I realized here, if you look at both baskets, they do have the shot clocks ahead of, on top of them.
Getting ready, right?
Yeah, that might be coming.
I don't think so. Interesting, you mentioned the Coaches Association, about the Football Coaches Association, again expressing its displeasure about the Big Ten's decision
I agree with
to
them
play
completely.
college football on a Friday night. I agree, too.
Just ridiculous.
Martzel picks up his third and steal a wall drop at the line. Yeah, I mean, why does college football have to play on a Friday night? I mean, you got Saturday. That's
all
your day.
All day Saturday you have.
That's your day. It's ridiculous. Although I believe that's pre-Labor Day, right?
Yeah.
So then you look at like a Fox River Classic Conference. They always play those early games on Thursdays. In fact, we streamed the Bayport Preble game on a Thursday before Labor Day. Maybe
that might be something the FVA does, or in other conferences around the area.
I think that's just smart anyway, just because of the holiday.
Get people on their on the road then, Brett?
Yeah, you know, and even let the kids who play give them a couple days off before they got to get back and lift and watch film and all that good stuff. But I think that was a good move, a proactive move by the FRCC. Steal a wall drop. He's 3 of 4 from the line. He's got 7 on the night. Ooh, tough. Wow, off the backboard. Look at Buchanan go.
He's putting on a show, Brett. No doubt about it. Buchanan having a heck of a night, him and Asman.
Yeah, boy, he was always a real smooth player, but he's added some elements to his game. Able to finish in traffic. Really impressed. He's got 17 now on the night. Of course, Buchanan playing collegiately at Rockhurst University. That's in Kansas City, Missouri. If you didn't know, Ricardo, the Hawks play at the Division II level as part of the Great Lakes Valley Conference. UW Parkside used to be part of that league, not anymore. As tough take by Jedwabny. He's fouled. Buchanan also had offers from Bemidji State, Michigan Tech, and St. Leo. Jedwabny back to the line. Asman picks up his second. Jedwabny 3 of 4 from the stripe. He's got 6 on the night. And speaking of the next level, I know Jedwabny going to play basketball. He's got a scholarship offer from Division II Northern Michigan. Keaton Ferris of Kaukauna, a scholarship offer from Division II Minot State. And again, we mentioned Chris Morgan going to play has an offer from West Virginia, and then Winnick, who just had the basketball, going to play football at Air Force, and Mitch Bartle going to play football at Western Michigan. So a lot of college talent in different sports on the floor tonight. Ooh, deep 3, Pawlowski. Wow! Boy, can these guys shoot the basketball.
How many threes is that now?
That's 9 threes on the night. That's the first 3 of the half for Kimberly. And I didn't catch who picked up the foul there.
35.
Yeah, that's from a previous foul. 3 team fouls anyway for the Papermakers. Up big right now. And a turnover coming. Kimberly basketball up 25.
It's number 1, Brett. It's Alt with the foul.
Well, we said Kimberly ranked 9th, right, in both polls. Associated Press, which is the first poll coming out finally this week, and also in the coaches poll is Pearson. Jeez. Woo! Did you see the ball movement as they broke the press, though? Really shared the basketball well. And again, you can't stress enough how important chemistry is. Nice rebound by Winnick. And Stroll's going to pick up his 4th, I believe, for Kaukauna. Anyway. Well, okay, Kimberly's going to take a full timeout, which gives me a chance to kind of talk about Kimberly's schedule this season. You know, they're battle tested.
Yeah.
8-2 coming in, but their 2 losses were back-to-back setbacks against state-ranked teams in number 1 Sussex Hamilton
with Patrick Baldwin
and number 8 Arrowhead. The Papermakers fell to Sussex Hamilton 68-65. Now that's a close game.
Yep.
Sussex Hamilton against top ranked. That was December 21st in a non-conference game, and then Kimberly dropped a 78-76 decision to Arrowhead on December 26th. That was part of the WBY shootout at Concordia.
Was that Sussex game at?
Down there.
Oh, okay.
Now, again, you mentioned Patrick Baldwin, the Sussex Hamilton star, 6'9" junior, one of the top recruits nationally in his class. He finished with 17 points and 8 rebounds against Kimberly. Arrowhead led by the 6'7" senior Carter Gilmore, who was committed to the University of Wisconsin as a walk-on. He finished with 32 points in that win over Kimberly, a game that saw Buchanan hit a three-quarters court shot at the buzzer, but the ball was in his hands as replay showed. We were watching that on TV. That was we watched the stream of it. Just missed actually giving Kimberly a win. So talk about, it's really no surprise. It's actually kind of a shock that they're ranked number 9. I think Kimberly should be a lot higher than that. The fact that they went toe-to-toe against 2 of the top teams in the state in Division I.
Brett, and I'm hearing for Baldwin, don't be surprised if he actually ends up playing for his dad at UW.
Is that we talked about that? Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility.
Kind of following the Tony Bennett going to UW Green Bay.
He's so talented. He's gonna go to the league. You know what I mean? So
why not?
Wouldn't that be a get?
Well, for your Panthers,
for
my
Panthers,
goodness, he would dominate the Horizon League probably. Yeah, because he's got I think North Carolina, Duke, of course, Wisconsin, Marquette. I think Kansas State, a whole bunch of scholarship offers, and again, he's coming back. But I was wondering if he would play for his father, the head coach at UW Milwaukee, much like Tony Bennett did way back in the day when Tony Bennett, he could have played Big Ten basketball. Ooh, tough take by Carson Sipple. So Winnick picks up his second 4-team foul, shooting foul coming up for Sipple, looking for his first points of the night. And a kind rim. You like the soft rims. Good on both is Sipple, so he's got 2 on the night. 68-42, Kimberly well in front in this one as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Whoops. It almost hit our photographer, Bill Glasheen, sitting down over there. You can see him there in the screen, but be sure to check out Bill's photo gallery later tonight on postcrescent.com.
Brett Cal McGinnis, I'm guessing the son of
I believe so.
Ryan McGinnis.
Yeah.
Patrick McGinnis, another
steal or a turnover.
Possibly another son of.
Oh, look at again the hesitation and just couldn't get it to fall.
That's about the only thing that's not gone right for Kimberly tonight, Brett. That missed layup. .9:49 left here in the second half. 68-42 lead for Kimberly on your Verlo Mattress scoreboard. Again, Kimberly went off to a 10-0 start, and that's kind of been the tempo the entire game, Brett. Kaukana's really never recovered.
Okay, not sure where we will be. It'll be a game next Friday night for our varsity game of the week, but beautiful bounce pass to Newhouse from Stroll. But got a couple of nice options, either Kimberly and Nina on the boys' side or Apple and East Hortonville on the girls' side. So we'll talk about it at the office, but you can find out where we'll be. Just give me a follow on Twitter at PCBretzi. No need to follow Ricardo. He's got enough followers.
That's at PC Ricardo, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't follow me, though.
Don't forget about Metal Rosie at METALROSIE. Rosie kind of has the night off tonight, doesn't he?
He's kind of chilling back here.
Oh, good bounce, but what?
Bartle's strong,
Yep.
though.
Good hands to secure that bounce pass in traffic. Bartle's first bucket of the night. What do you think about the ball movement on that possession?
I think there's a lot of concentration there, Brett. That's one thing you know for Kimberly. They're so well coached. They don't get flustered. They stay on their keys. You can see all the great coaching that they've had.
Ooh.
There's Ferris from 3.
Wow.
Buries it.
Jeez.
Lead down to 23.
11 points for Ferris. He's got 3 triples.
Buchanan.
That's Pawlowski.
Look at Bartle working
Yep.
hard, though, for that rebound.
Buchanan's going to let it fly. Second chance thanks to Mitch Bartle. Leads to that bucket.
Hitting threes from way out there, Brett, that's tough.
Well, what do you do? 20 points now for Jake Buchanan.
$7:57 left in the second half on your Verlo Matcher scoreboard. Kimberly up 73-47.
So that's 11 threes on the night for Kimberly, 3 this half. Well, good hands by Buchanan. Just got his fingertips right on the bounce pass from Ferris. Oh, tries to go behind, kind of the back a little bit, looking for Asman.
Smart defense by Kaukauna as Jed Wabney can't finish. Pearson now bringing it up for Kimberly. Here's Buchanan again. Martzel.
Fighting against that zone, Asman. Look at Bartle fighting, but nope. Rebound to Ferris.
Ferris with the sleeve on his left knee, Brett. That's what kept him out early in the season, as that shot is up and no good. Asman with the rebound, though.
Little catch between Buchanan and Pearson there. Asman, boy, again, wide open. He can hit those. I don't know why they're not closing out harder than that. So that's 12 threes on the night, and that is 5 threes for Asman. Is Ferris now going to let it fly, and he hits one. And timeout coming for Kaukauna.
3-point baskets are flying here at Jack Whippet Court.
Let's look at what Asman has. 23 points for Grant Asman,
Fantastic night for him.
including 5 threes. 76-50. As we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard, what can you say when you hit 12 3-point shots? But again, you've seen Asman knock those down, and he's wide open. Credit the ball movement, but there's got to be, I think, a little bit more urgency on that defensive end to really kind of sell out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mentioned Jordan McCabe, though. Chris Morgan with the scholarship offer to go to West Virginia. Jordan there now at Morgantown, and Mountaineers having a nice season, ranked 17th. And McCabe has started all 14 games for Bob Huggins' crew. So if Jordan,
How are they doing this year? I haven't been following college basketball, really.
I just said they're ranked 17th. But if you're watching, Jordan, hoping everything's going well for you over there in West Virginia land. Of course, also in the Big 12, Tyrese Halliburton at Iowa State, the former Oshkosh North Star, talking about NBA with him.
Oh, I knew he could make the league. He could be a great pick, Brett. He has the length and that kind of build. Really do some special things. Hey, he's a good kid.
Very good kid, both guys, Jordan and Tyrese, good kids and very good to us as Pearson lets it fly strong.
Nice rebound by Martzel, keeping this possession alive as Buchanan.
But it's going to be very interesting to see what Tyrese does here in the offseason. Obviously, if he's getting serious NBA looks, he's got to go, especially if it's a potential first rounder. One of the, I think he's one of the country or the nation's leaders in assists per game. As Pearson spots from the wing.
Seemingly one of the few misses for Kimberly from three-point land. It's Jadwabny.
Ooh, blocked by Asman.
Hey, that's the second of the night.
How many rebounds do you have him for?
7.
So closing in on a double-double. Again, 6'9" junior forward for Lucky Wirtz's crew. There's a little jumper. Morgan. Oh, rim not kind there. Thought he was going to get the bounce on the soft rim. That was a good pull-up from 15 feet.
I think Pearson's another guy that's really impressed me, Brett. Senior 6'3" forward.
Yeah, smooth. We got really good guard play as Martzel, but good guard play between him and Buchanan, really running this offense well. There's Jadwabny, back iron, and Winnick with the rebound. Still 5 minutes to play in this one. You all ready for the big storm, Ricardo?
Got my 2 shovels. Me and the boy are going to be shoveling some snow, my friend.
Oh,
Winnick.
Yep.
He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
I think that's on Newhouse. Nope, it's going to be on Stroll, so he is out. Jordan Stroll just fouls out. And he will leave the game as Carson Simple checks in now for Mike Shallow's Kaukauna Ghosts, and that's going to put Winnick at the line shooting a pair. Hey, I got that snowblower ready to go. I gassed it up this afternoon, fired it up, made sure. Now watch it all move south.
Well, I wouldn't mind that. Free throw up and no good for Winnick.
Hard to believe it, January 10th, and there's no snow on the ground, even though we've had a lot of snow this winter so far.
It's just all melted.
Yeah, we get some snowfalls, and then it gets warm and it melts. That's kind of a perfect winter, if you ask me. Good bounce pass, nice
Morgan to Sipple. Brett, that was nice.
Sipple with 4, it was. Boy, again in traffic, Buchanan finishing. Just buries his head and goes at it, and we've seen a number of those tonight. Ooh, Morgan, and hits it.
Was Morgan breaking some ankles?
A little ankle breaker there, yeah. He's got some handles on him, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Again, just a sophomore.
Oh,
Is
Buchanan.
Buchanan. Wow, stays with it. And 80 points now for Kimberly. And now we're going back and forth.
Just under 4 minutes. 3:58 left here in the second half. 80-56 lead for Kimberly.
Looks like we're going to get a little line change here as both teams starting to empty the benches.
Yeah, Buchanan with 24 points now, BC. He's done for the night, though, it appears. Pearson checks out. Winnick. Peroni looking for Asman on that one. Not quite able to connect as we now show 3:51 left on your Verlometric scoreboard. 80-56 lead for Kimberly as a timeout is called by Kimberly, a full timeout. But if you're thinking long-term for this Kimberly team, I mean in terms of relative to the season, I love their chances. But you know what? I don't want to say that because we've loved their chances in years past, but they just haven't been able to pop through the state. There's always something that kind of goes wrong. Either they're playing in a super strong sectional. They have a game like last year where Nina just pulled an incredible comeback to pull off the win. You'd like to see Lucky Wirtz make it down to state, Brett. I was there when he made his only appearance at state with Laconia. And I saw my Amro Foxes take down Laconia in the D3 championship game, 74-49. Still remember the score, Brett.
Well, we'll see how things are looking at the end of the year, but awfully impressed. How can you not be? I mean, you talked about it. Ball handlers with Pearson and Buchanan, and guys that really set up the offense, but a lot of different guys that can make you pay in different ways. But beyond that, just looking statistically and not seeing these guys until tonight, they can shoot. And I don't think that the fact that they've knocked down all these threes is an anomaly. I just think that they're really good, skilled shooters. If you got that many weapons offensively and you could spread the floor like that, it's tough. And I think I like the way they play defense as well. There's
Morgan with
Morgan.
the three.
Ooh.
Missed everything on that one as Peroni with the rebound. Getting a lot of reserves in now for Kimberly. Cal McGinnis in there as well as Connor Pendleton. Aspen. No good on that shot by McGinnis.
Ooh. Yeah, that
Third
was,
block
yeah.
of the night for Aspen.
Is that Morgan trying to put that one up? Oh, good feed.
Peroni
Yeah,
getting
good
it
hands.
in.
Yep. Interesting. You look on Kaukauna's side. A lot of their key guys still in. You got Jedwabny, you got Morgan, you got Ferris. Peroni, a little nimble, using the hands. Still fighting offensive board and in.
Do a little flexing too after that rebound and put back.
Boy,
It's another big body for Kimberly, 6'4", and he's built like a tank.
Just not used to seeing this this type of outcome when it comes to Kaukauna basketball, Ricardo. It's almost another 30-point deficit right now. Peroni again spotting up on that block, and good hesitation. 6 quick points.
Peroni enjoying himself. 6 quick points for the junior 6'4" forward.
As we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard, 86-56, Kimberly up by 30. Again, look at some of these games that Kaukauna has lost. 92-61 to Hortonville, 96-67 to Oshkosh North, 92-63 loss to Neenah, almost at that 30-point deficit. And Kimberly a couple buckets away from another 90 spot against the Ghosts.
We got 2:10 left in the second half as well, so Kimberly in command here on your Verlo Matches scoreboard. Now we see some reserves in for Kaukauna. Big old 35 keeper. Oh boy, how do I pronounce this name, Brett?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Shimilewski. Brett, they have his position as T. I take it that's for tackle.
He was 6'5", 300 on the program. Oh, wow. Beautiful feed. Tommy Ellison with the finish. Cutting through the lane. And a nice pass to set it up. Tommy
Moreau
Ellison, sorry, Ricardo, 6'3", junior forward.
Oh, the big guy getting the rebound, too.
Oh, and he's going to get the bucket. Oh, in and out.
Still has it, Brett. Look at those hands.
Oh, he got it. He's going to make me say his name at the end.
That's right. 6'5", 300, big creamy.
Three from the wing.
Ooh. McGinnis flying in for that rebound. 57.5 seconds left, Brett. Can they get to 90? 30-point lead for the Papermakers.
Pretty good look by Spencer Johnson there. Another junior for Lucky Wirtz as we are under a minute to play. 88-58. Kimberly well on its way. Remember, they started out 10-0 run. They haven't trailed at all in this game. Three, that was Austin Miller with the miss, and here come the Papermakers. You know these guys, they want one more bucket, don't they? Whoop.
Turnover. 26.9 seconds left in this one.
You look at Lucky, they're up 30, and he's still mad at that pass. He's still coaching with 26.9 to play. Well, what's the game plan for you, Ricardo?
I'll be doing a little bit of a write-up on the roundups, but then I got to get in there and help with taking all those calls, my friend.
So look for the write-up, folks, later tonight on postcrescent.com. And again, a photo gallery will accompany it
our buddy
as well.
Glasheen's here,
Bill
the
Glasheen.
award winner.
Mm-hmm.
Moreau.
That Sipple hits it.
See if they can get to 90, Brett, but I think they're just going to maybe perhaps let this one run out, just take a one last second shot.
the
That's
air out of
it.
the
88
ball.
to 60 is your final. Kimberly over Kaukauna. First of two matchups between these two teams in the battle for K-Town.
Well, you can't leave without some thoughts on both sides.
Well, let me start with Kaukauna. First off, hopefully I get a chance to talk to Shiloh tonight. If not, I'll try to get a hold of him during the week. But, Brett, I don't know what's wrong with the defense. They just don't seem to be playing that kind of defense. Not just that, short circuits the other team, but also it feeds into their offense. I think a lot of that, if you remember the Kaukauna Ghosts teams from the past, Brett, they fed off their defense. Something they have to correct if they want to do anything in the Division II playoffs, Brett, because they have been some big-time players in those playoffs in recent years. Now for Kimberly, up and down the roster, you see the young guys they have. You see the height that they have, the length that they have, and they got Buchanan kind of in the middle, kind of distributing, facilitating the basketball. This is a great team, Brett. High expectations. Now it's a matter of them keeping that edge and making sure they get through in the playoffs down to the Kohl Center. There's no reason why they can't make it down to the Kohl Center, Brett.
Yeah, I agree. But time will tell. As you see Mike Shallow and John Milkey down there talking things over. Of course, John, the former Abilene East coach, long time. He took a couple squads to state. He took Anago way back in the day as well. He used to coach up at Anago, so as they exchanged some pleasantries. But yeah, I really like Kimberly just for the fact of what I said before. Different pieces, different weapons, and they can really hurt you shooting-wise. They can score inside, they can score outside, but beyond that, when you have a couple guards. We saw that, remember, with Xavier, with Sam
Matt Ferris?
Sam Ferris and Hunter Plowman.
Yes, Plowman.
Guard play. That means a lot, especially when you get into tournament time. But hey, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We just want to enjoy the basketball here for a while. But congrats to Lucky Wirtz and Kimberly. Looked awfully good tonight.
All right, BC, got to get down there and try to grab some point totals and things like that. And all right, I'll head out. Good. We'll see you next week.
Well, that gives me a chance to run down the scoring before I sign off for the evening. Let's start with the victorious Papermakers. 12 3-point buckets on the night for Kimberly. Jacob Buchanan leads the way with a game-high 24 points. Martzel with 3, Winnick with 4, Pawlowski with 9, Pearson with 15, Bartle with 2, Asman with 23, Ellison with 2, Peroni with 6 for the Ghosts. Jedwabny with 9, Sipple with 6, Morgan with 7, Ferris with 14 to lead his team. He had 4 triples. Stilo Waldrop with 7, Hammond with 3, Newhouse with 10, and Schmielewski, hopefully I'm saying that right, Kiefer Schmielewski, a junior, he finishes with a bucket and 2 points. With the victory, Kimberly, the 9th-ranked Papermakers, improved to 9-2 overall, 8-0 in the FVA. Kaukauna falls to 5-6 overall and 4-4 in FVA play. Kimberly next at home right here on Tuesday against Oshkosh West. That's a FVA matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. As for the Ghosts, they also will be home on Tuesday against Appleton North. That too is an FVA matchup. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Not sure what we're going to be doing next week, but it is either going to be these Kimberly Papermakers and Neenah on the boys' side. That'll be a Friday night game. Or we're looking at Hortonville Abilene East on the girls' side. Both games would feature state-ranked teams and have FVA championship implications. So, again, give me a follow on Twitter at PCBretzi, and I'll let you all know what game we will be checking out. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Be sure to stop in today for their New Year's mattress sale. So for Ricardo, for Rosie, and my youngest, of course, and the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I am Brett Christopherson saying so long from Jack Whippet Court here at Kimberly High School, where once again, the final score tonight, Kimberly 88, Kaukauna 60. Thanks for watching, everybody.